Hello everyone. So we are going to discuss about the totally stub area now. In our previous class, we discussed about the stub area in which the external routes were blocked by the stub area routers. But now we are going to discuss about the totally stub area in which the area border route injects the default route, that is 0.0.0.0/0. It is also known as the 0.0.0 network, and the subnet mask is 0.0.0.0 into the totally stub area. Basically, it is going to block the LSA type 3, type 3, and also LSA type 4 and 5. So these three LSAs will be blocked by the totally stub area and converted to the default route 0.0.0.0/0. So let me explain you via diagram. So dear, this is our diagram in which this is area 1 on which I am going to do the configuration of stub area. Which one? Totally stub area. Now what is the benefit of this totally stub area? That the routes coming from area 0 as well as all the external routes will be blocked on R1. R1 is the area border router. All the routes coming through this router to the area 1, which are the inter area routes, that is coming from the neighbor area, as well as the external routes will be totally blocked. So the routes coming from neighbor area or inter area as well as the routes coming from external will be blocked and will not be forwarded to the routing table of these routers of stub area. If I will check the routing table of R5, R4, there is no information of network available beyond this router, right? It will only having the information of all the routers in the same area, area 1. So basically, how does the routers will communicate to the other area or external? Because it will be automatically converted to the default route, and default route allows all IP version 4 networks. That is why all the networks will be automatically allowed to communicate, but it is only going to shorter the routing table. The routing table will be shortened only. Okay. So now let's do the practical, in which first of all I will show you how does the LSA type 3 will be forwarded, and then external routes will be forwarded. After that I'm going to do the configuration of totally stub area. So first of all let's do the configuration of OSPF, on which I will show you how does the routers are going to forward the LSAs. Okay, so let's take the console axis of all the router R1, R2, R3, R4, R5 and R6. Okay, so first of all, so this is R3 we got, R5, okay, R4, R1, R4, R1, R2 and R6. So we have taken the console axis of all of these. Now let's start doing the configuration of OSPF. But during the configuration of OSPF, I want to show you how does the types of LSAs forwarded in between the routers. So I have captured the packet in between R4 and R5 to show you the routes forwarded. So here, if I go to the Wireshark, so you can see there is only some basic packets forwarding in between these two. There is no OSPF packet because we didn't have configured the OSPF. So first of all, I'm going to do the configuration of OSPF in between R1, R5, R4 and R1. So let's start with R5. Configure terminal do show IP interface brief. So already IP addresses are assigned. Now let's do the configuration. So route OSPF 1 network, that is 192.168.10.0, 0.0.0.255 area is 1. Another network is what, 10.0.2.0 and 0.0.0.255 area is 1. So I have just configured on R5. Let's go to R4 and do the configuration. So configure terminal router OSPF1 network 192.168.10.0, 0.0.0.255 area 1 and network 192.168.11.0, 0.0.0.255 area 1. Now we will go to Wireshark. I have just configured in between them and we are going to observe the LSAs forwarded from R4 to R5 or R4 to R5 to R4 when we advertise these networks. So when I will advertise this network or this network, some LSAs will be forwarded and let's see which type of LSAs are there. So I will go to the update packets, DBD packets, hello packet and observe about the LSAs. So I will click on over here. So here we can see that we have LSA type 1. So inter-area routes will always be forwarded in LSA type 1 or LSA type 2. Let me click on other. So this is LSA type 1. So inter-area routes forwarded in form of LSA type 1 only. Okay. Now let's do the other configurations, and when I'm going to do the configuration of other area, it is going to forward LSA type 3. Let's do the configuration on R1 and I will show you how LSA type 3 will be forwarded. That we are going to block. Let me close the other sessions of Wireshark. Let's go to router number 1 and do the configuration. So configure terminal router OSPF1 network, that is 192.168.11.0 and network, 11.0, 0.0.0.255 area is 1. So we have just configured the same area routes. Now let's advertise the different area routes. How? Network 192.168.12.0, 0.0.0.255 area is 0. Now area will be changed. I have advertised this network. This network information will be forwarded to the R5 in form of LSA type 3. LSA type 3. Let me go to Wireshark and observe that. Okay. So let's go to the last update packet and observe this. You can see that this is LSA type 3 coming from neighbor area. Okay. Neighbor area routes always forwarded in form of LSA type 3. So by the help of Totally Stub Area, we can block these routes. These routes will be automatically converted into the default route. Okay. Now let's do the configuration everywhere. Let's go to R2 and do the configuration. So configure terminal route OSPF1 network. This is 192.168.12.0, 0.0.0.255 area 0 network 192.168.13.0, 0.0.0.255 area 0. Let's go to the last one, R3. So R3, so configure terminal configure terminal, router OSPF1 network. This is 192.168.13.0, 0.0.0.0.255 area 0. Network is 10.0.1.0, 0.0.0.0.255 area 0. Okay. Now let's do the configuration of external routes. So whenever I will do the configuration of external routes as well as advertise them, what will happen? LSA type 5 will be forwarded, LSA type 4 or type 5 will be forwarded. So router BGP, that is 100, neighbor, that is 200.0.0.2, remote AS is 200, 200, network that is 200.0.0.0, and mask is 255.255.255.0, and redistribute OSPF router BGP 100, router BGP 100, sorry, router BGP 100, network, sorry, redistribute OSPF 1, exit, router OSPF 1, network, that is redistribute BGP 100 and its subnets. So now the external routes can be advertised to the OSPF with the help of redistribution. Now it's time to create the neighborship in between R3 and R6. Then we will observe the routes coming from R6. Okay. So configure terminal, router BGP, that is 200, neighbor, that is 200.0.0.1, remote AS is 100. Okay, so their neighborship will be formed. Now advertise the network, that is 200.0.0.0, and mask is 255.255.255.0. Let's go to R5 Wireshark. Okay, here we got the recent update messages that were coming from the external. Okay, let's go to them. You can see these are in form of LSA type 4. Here we got it. Which type of LS packet is this? This is LSA type 4 packet is here. So external routes can be forwarded in form of LSA type 4 or LSA type 5. So let me check the acknowledgement. Acknowledgement will be forwarded in form of LSA type 4. Okay. Let's check the other update messages. LSA this one. So this is LSA type 4. Okay. Check the previous one. LS acknowledgement. So these are the LSA type 5, right or not? So all the external routes coming to the OSPF will be in form of LSA 4 and 5. So we are going to block all these with the help of Totally Stub Area. So now I'm going to advertise these networks to the router. When I will advertise these networks will be automatically forwarded in form of LSA type 4 and LSA type 5 to the R5. LSA 4 and LSA type 5. Let me do this practically and show you. Let's go to R6 and configure. Okay. So router BGP, that is 200, network, that is 20.0.1.0, and mask is 255.255.255.0, 20.0.2.0, 20.0.3.0. So all of these LSAs will be forwarded to R5 in the form of LSA type 3 and LSA type 4 and LSA type 5. Let me go to Wireshark and show you that recently we got some update messages there. These update messages will be in form of LSA type 5, right or not? LSA type 5 over here, and I will click on acknowledgement. Acknowledgement will also be in LSA type 5. Either it will be in form of LSA type 4 or either in form of LSA type 5. We got some more advertisements. Let's do this. So LSA type 5 you can see, and it is also in form of LSA type 5. So all the routes coming from external will be in form of LSA type 5 or LSA type 4. So we are going to block these, convert them to default route with the help of total stub area. So there is a difference between the stub area and total stub area is that the total stub area will block the entire routes beyond the area. That is means it will block the inter area routes, it will block the external routes, all will be blocked. But in case of stub area, it is only going to block the external routes, convert to the default route. So let's do the configuration of total stub area on R5, R4 and R1. Let's see how we can do that. So on R5 we have to do the configuration router BGP, but before that let's verify the table. Show IP route. So here you can see that the routes coming from external are in form of OE2, right or not? Here are the external routes, here are the external routes, and the routes coming from the neighbor are in form of what? IA. OIA. These are the neighbor routes. Let's block all the LSA type 3 or LSA type 5. How we can do that? So router OSPF 1, area 1, stub. That's it. So this is the configuration over the R5. These are not ABR. Let's go to R4 and do the configuration. How we can do that? Router OSPF 1, area 1, sorry, area 1, stub. That's it. So neighborship will be reset now. Let's go to ABR. Basically on the area border router, we are going to do the configuration of totally stub area by providing the command no summary. This is a single line of command no summary that is used to do the configuration for the same, for the total stub area. Let's go to router number 1 and do the configuration. So a router OSPF 1, area 1, stub, no summary. This command will use to block all the LSAs type 3, type 4 or type 5 coming to the not totally stub area. Let's go to R5 and verify that. So we can see that there is a big table, right? So this table will be automatically shortened to show IP route. So you can see that the table is it is totally shortened, right or not? All the external routes or all the routes coming from the inter area will be blocked. There is nothing over here except of this default route, right or not? If you will observe that in previous one we can see that external routes were here, neighbor area routes were here, but all of these will be automatically removed. So these will be removed and these will be automatically removed and will be converted to 0.0.0.0/0. Here we can see that in the new routing table, and this is really short as compared to previous one. No external routes, no inter area routes are there. So dear all, I hope you like the session. Please subscribe now, and we have uploaded the notes over our official website, so you can download these notes for the OSPF. So this is our website, Tech with Ravish, and You can go to the OSPF over here, click here, and you can apply the code for the same, what is the relevant code over here, and you can purchase the study material.